downfield or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Touchdown, New Orleans.
Room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would.
Got a man open. It's top. Now on the run. He'll throw it back deep over the, and he'll take it into the end. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. There he goes left side, and he'll score. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Look at this spin.
Balance.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touch workout.
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion.
And he'll take it in.
Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. With that, let's get up to Atlanta. We're standing by at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to Brandon Godden, Charles Davis, happy to be with you. And, Charles, we've got two teams who know each other extremely well. These division games, they tend to be battles.
People scout like crazy in this league, but no one scouts more than within the division. Because if you win your division, you're automatically in the playoffs. That puts extra emphasis on these games, and they can't wait to get at each other.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Hey, let's go!
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Demario Davis able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up 4th down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Breeze. Now Breeze lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, 60 yards. And the Saints have taken the early lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Fielded about a yard deep. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now a penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put him back with not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Here's Ryan to throw. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On first down, Ryan. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Sheldon Rankins with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Drew Brees, his 2nd touchdown pass here in the opening quarter of this game. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. Lutz good on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd down, Ryan. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Ready?
They go play action for Ingram. Now Brees. Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there. Wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage and make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Finds a seam inside the 40. And Josh Hill has it. And finally down at the 32-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out. Here's Breeze to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Tech McKinley in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And that is incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. They go play action here on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for Mohamed Sanu there. That'll bring up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
On 1st and 10, here's Breeze. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the... And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Drew Brees does it again. 3 first-half touchdown passes for him now. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
Partner, one of the cardinal rules of defense is that if you're in position to make a tackle, you need to make it.
Well, and if you can't make the tackle before that, you just got to knock that ball down, right?
Yeah, something has to happen because we saw the end result there. Missed tackle, he goes all the way and takes it for a touchdown.
Returnable here for Davis. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run, maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. Here's Ryan. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
And that will be incomplete as well.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Here's Ginn. Oh, he's taken down here by his face mask by the looks of it. And a penalty flag is going to give a much better starting position.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty.
This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
And he's got it. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And he can't corral it. Maybe a big missed opportunity there defensively in the end zone. And now 3rd down. Breeze now on 3rd and goal. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints add on to their lead. And he's able to put it through. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Returnable here for Davis. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Connects with Sanu right side. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover them.
And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From From the shotgun, Ryan. That's caught over the middle. Hooper. And a stoppage here. A timeout before this third down play takes place. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
Ready. Wait, 25.
On third down, Ryan looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Offensively, when you see cover two, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, what a move. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down. Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
The play fake to Ingram. Now it's Breeze. And this is going to be incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Ready. Back 25.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. There he goes left side. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Returnable here for Davis. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Credit the tackle to Kurt Coleman.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Ryan. And this one is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The
leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. Look at this spin.
Balance.
Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. 49 yards. And the Saints are pouring it on. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Returnable here for Davis. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
And now running right through it. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Breeze now on 1st down. Over the middle, that's caught by Meredith. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And 15 yards there on the catch and run. All the yards, completions, just another play that's a feather in the cap of the great career of Drew Brees.
And wasn't he supposed to be too small to be an effective quarterback in the NFL?
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Yeah, well, his footwork, I think, really sets him apart. Remember, he was a junior tennis champion.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Mark Ingram, a 23-yard run. And the Saints just continue to roll.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Returnable here for Davis. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball when the pitch...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ready, white 25.
Now Ryan on second down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A great return there of 22 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, here's Kamara. Able to fight through 1 tackle. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash mark, this a 43-yard attempt. And Lutz's kick is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that.
And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now it's Ginn.
Whoosh.
And now running right through it. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And his throw here is incomplete. There defensively to break that one up, Ken Crawley.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
23 yards on the play.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Now it's Ryan. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And now it's second down.
He misses yet again, and the struggles here, they look pretty uncharacteristic for him.
You're certainly right about that. Mechanics are the key right now. Feet, arm, not in...
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Cameron Jordan in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.